Shalom, Yashrallah. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson, dealing with you, Akim, that's in this here truth, as far as the things that you're going through, whether it's being rebuked, being, shapened up, or just the hell that you're catching and all these different things, ultimately it's building, it's to build you up, and I want to go into this here lesson to, to put into your mindset of what, ultimately the end goal is going to be. If you're a part of that number to be of the elect, you're going to be the first fruits to reign with Yahushua. And also you're going to be set forth as, again, the first fruits. You're going to be up at the top. All right. And plus, you're being shaped to be a leader. All right. Obviously, when we get into the kingdom, the Most High is going to write the law, statutes, commandments in us. We're going to be programmed not to go off. But as far as being on this here side where we at now, and a lot of you brothers can already attest to these things, especially you heads of the camps, from day one when you first walked in. You might have first walked into a camp, started out holding the sign, holding the camera. Now look at you. Look at your position now. You might not have ever thought that you'd be ahead of a camp or anything like that. But, hey, nevertheless, the things that you're going through is shaping you up to become a leader. All right. Not only that, but be a leader over the children of Israel. All right. So I'm going to start here in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, before I formed thee, let me start at verse 4. The word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. All right. So, let me keep reading. Verse 6. Then said I, Yahweh power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But Yahweh said unto me, say not that I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee. Whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their face, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith Yahweh. So when you reading what Jeremiah's dealing with, he was a child. He was like, nah, I don't see myself being a leader. I don't see myself teaching the people and telling the people about certain things. But ultimately, the Most High had this planned out from the jump street, man. We were predestined. All right. There was predestination that was set forth, before you was even born, what you was going to do. All right. So you may think of it as, oh, I'm just, out here trying to get my life together, live right before the Lord and just reading the Bible and things like that. But ultimately, you have to understand that you're feeding and edifying the Lord's sheep. You're raising them up, you're building them up. All right. And then, there's a brother in the camp, basically, I believe it's the head of our camp, or if not, it's another brother in the camp that always bring this up. It's like mentioning certain things like this and that, because of the fact that who knows, one day, you're going to be a leader. You may not know what it may be. Again, you may be a brother that's holding the camera or something like that. One day you just come into the camera, you just holding the camera. But lo and behold, further on down the road, you may be in charge of a group of people, and when that day comes where, all right, you're going to be built up to a certain point where people are going to start coming to you for guidance. All right. And you're going to, you're not going to be that quote unquote insignificant man that's over there just holding a camera or anything. Like the scripture say, we're many members, but one body. We all have our lot of what we're doing. And, you can't think of yourself as just, oh, I'm just, just a nobody, more or less, to say, you're actually a somebody. There's people that's looking up to you. There's sheep that's listening unto your words, that's being edified and being built up from the things that you're saying. So let me go from there to what do I want to go? Oh, Isaiah 49. Let me start at the top. Isaiah 49:1. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from afar. Yahweh hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. So just like how we were reading in Jeremiah, all right, he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword, and the shadow of his hand and his quiver have he hid me. So again, this is predestinated. The Most High is building you up for a certain job and a certain task. He's molding you. Verse 3, and he said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I not said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain, yet surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work with my power. So again, like I said, this is you're not just an insignificant person. You have a great role, and whether you see it today or you don't. don't ask them what day one was like. You know, he was just out on the highways and the byways, or maybe by themselves, or coming to a camp and they was a low man on a totem pole. But now look at them. You know, the Lord had, you know, ultimately that was the position the Lord was going to have them in to, you know, at the end all be all. But they had to start somewhere. You know, like even when he first came into the truth, you know, you know, he didn't start at the top, right? But now look at him now. All right. So the things that you're doing is not, you're not laboring in vain, man. All right. You're not laboring just to be a so-called nobody, man. All right. Everybody that's out here that's got their hand to the plow, you're somebody, you know, and then there's sheep that's listening to you. Whether you upload videos and you only get that one sub that's over there watching your videos, man. I remember when I first started, it was like 1 or 2 views, but then, you know, sometimes they would, you know, the viewers would comment, you know, and their comments for the edification, this and that, and I would notice that, hey, that same one person is watching these videos, and that was all I needed, man. You know what I'm saying? To know that I was, you know, feeding at least one sheep. You know, one sheep was being brought back into the Lord, you know, from my service, and that, you know, that just made my whole day. All right. Verse 6 says, and he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldst be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel, and I will give thee for a light to the Gentiles that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. So, hey, at the same time, you know, the Most High is using you, all right, to, you know, the valley of the dry bones. You know, you got to raise the dead, more or less to say. You know, you're feeding them and edifying them. They don't know nothing. You know, the first thing they might know about is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. But from there, you're feeding them the rest of all these other precepts and everything like that and building them up, all right, to when to a point to where one day they may get a following. You know, they may start putting up videos. Now they're getting, you know, further and further, deeper and deeper into these precepts and things like that, man. You know, this is what your videos are doing. And you know, like I said about the Akim that was commenting, you know, obviously, you know, it's not in everybody's spirit to just comment. I'm a person like that where I don't really comment on videos or anything like that. No matter what it is, you know, I just watch the video, be edified by it and everything like that. You know, and I can look at my videos and see I got, you know, roughly the same amount of views on all of my videos and everything like that. So I know that, you know, it's about the same people that's watching all my videos. Obviously, they're getting built up from it, but, you know, you don't need a shalom or the water for the, you know, for the lesson and everything like that. But, you know, they're being fed because they keep coming back for that more food, you know. But nevertheless, you know, just, you know, saying that to say this, that, you know, you start putting in that work, you know, and you do it in, you know, this is actually a great task. You know, you're raising up the children of Israel. You know, you're leading them back into the Lord, man. All right. So I'm going to go from there to, what is that, second? See, the first or second Samuel. I think it's second Samuel. Yep. Well, let me read this from the top. Well, no, we don't even have to read from the top. Verse 8 is the point. 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 8, it says, you know, this, King David wanted to build a house for the Most High, you know, but the Most High was like, yeah, I don't need no house. But because that was your intent, you know, I'm over here blessing you and you thinking about paying me back. You know what I'm saying? But that was a man after the Most High's own heart, you know, being thankful for the things that the Most High blessed him with, you know, because a lot of the times what happened, especially with Israel as a whole, was the Most High will bless us. And we would get all caught up in all of that and get proud with it and forget about the Most. Let me try to, you know, appreciate this and give you. But this was David's response. 2 Samuel 7 and 8. It says, now therefore thou shalt say unto my servant David, well, the Most High to David, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. All right. So look, you know, it's just like in a job that you have, man. You may have a job, a little job doing this or that, you know, and you know, let's just say you had a job being a janitor or something, right? And in that janitorial job, you know, sometimes you got to fix this and fix that, learn how to troubleshoot certain things. But then now, later on in life, you get a different job somewhere else, but you can go back and look at the experience you had from that past job and realize, like, you know what, I know how to do this. Now, I already know how to do this because of my previous job, you know, that experience I had back then, you know. So here, King David started out as watching over the sheep and everything like that, you know, doing the so-called grunt work and everything like that. So again, you know, he might have thought his job was insignificant. He had other brothers where, you know, when Samuel came to look for the king, you know, he came into Jesse's house and Jesse had his other sons and he was like, no, it's got to be one of these. And then Samuel was like, nah, you sure you ain't got somebody else, nobody else? And then he was like, well, we got one more son, but, you know, he out there in the field. You don't really want him. He, you know, he got to, you know, he the lone man on the totem pole. But guess what? The Most High was looking for him to raise him up, man. And it says, matter of fact, let me, again, I was looking for another, but just for time's sake, we'll just read verse 8 again. So shalt thou say unto my servant David, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people Israel. And that's ultimately what the Most High is doing unto us, you know. Like I said, man, you could have came, first of all, you could be on the other side of the camp, you know, or shit, you could be at home watching the videos before you even find the camp, man. Then come out to the camp and you on the other side of the camera watching, taking notes, and you just a guy out there with the questions and everything like that. But, you know, what you don't realize is the Most High is building you up, you know, and then one day you may actually be out there leading people, man. Hell, you might, you know, on a video, you know, on the other side of the camera, taking notes, being diligent and everything like that. But then when all shit hit the fan and everything like that, you've already been built up. And then people are going to understand, you know, hey, look, he's got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now you over here leading folks. And then you thought of yourself like, damn, you know, I was too late to come around to the camps to be able to make it into a camp, or shit popped up before I could even get into a camp and everything like that. But lo and behold, your ass is out here still leading people, man. You out here edifying the children of Israel. Hell, you could be at your job or out in your everyday life and getting built up on the camera, but now you in your everyday life, your family, your household. Now let me go from there to okay, we're gonna read about Solomon. Slovakia. Okay, here we go. Let me start from verse 7. And the night did the Most High appear to Solomon and said unto him, ask what I shall give thee, right? So, you know, the Most High is opening it up for like a request, like, yo, Solomon, what you want, right? And Solomon said unto the Most High, thou hast showed great mercy unto David my father, and hast made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Yahweh power, let thy promise unto David my father be established, for thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude. Now give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people, for who can judge this thy people that is so great? All right, so let me keep going. Well, real quick, you know, Solomon asked for the wisdom and knowledge and understanding to be able to lead the people, man. All right, and this is what you're out here being built up for and edified for. All right, it says, and Yahweh said unto Solomon, because this was in thy heart, and thou hast not asked riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of thy enemies, neither yet hast thou asked long life, but thou hast asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mayest judge my people over whom I made thee king. So again, you know, this is, you know, ultimately what you desire spiritual gifts, but above all, desire to prophesy, man. All right, to lead the children of Israel in the right path, man. All right. Not trying to make this lesson too long. I'm gonna close out actually right here, Matthew 19. Right, Matthew 19 and 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, ye that which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So ultimately, you know, we're being built up for a certain purpose, you know, and on this side, we're going to be, you know, gathering the children of Israel back, building them up, feeding the sheep, edifying them and everything like that, you know. And, you know, if we continue into the faith that we were called and chosen to be in this thing, you know, we're going to want not only the children of Israel, but hey, the whole planet, man. This is what we're out here being built up for. So, like I started out, the things that you're being rebuked about or down about, the hell that you're catching, all these different things, and the sacrifices that you make in this here world and this here life, man, it's all for a great purpose, man, to lead over the greatest people that there is on the face of the earth. Not just the greatest people on the face of the earth, to hell with all that. You getting built up to lead us people, man. All right. So, hey, this isn't a light thing. This is something great that you're doing. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying. Until the next time I say, call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth and ever will. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Till next time I say, stay strong. Shalom.